much of an introduction, but we have to do this formally, Sharath. So let me just formally do this for the 183, 200 odd people who are watching this. He's the only Indian to win 10 times of a national championship in the men's category in the field of table tennis. And this is one thing that he and me both have in common, because I'm 10-time men's intra-South Mumbai for those who can't play table tennis champion as well. So, Sharath, it's very nice to be able to meet somebody who's also a very nice table tennis champion. But he's won, unlike me, this fellow has actually won the Padma Shri. He's won the Khel Ratna. He's actually been a 4-time Olympian. And the coolest part about him is that he doesn't remember that I was there cheering him on from the stands every time in each one of those tournaments. But he didn't look behind, didn't even wave. Very disappointing. But we finally managed to get hold of him, and the living legend who is India's finest paddler and one of the most inspiring people in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your virtual hands together to welcome none other than Sharath Kamal. Sharath, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rishabh, for the fantastic introduction and comparison. It's really nice.
Don't ever challenge me to a table tennis match. Huh? Because I only play in the tournament where nobody else can play. but Sharath, yes. Welcome to Parul University presents I.I.M.U.N's role models. The main part about this show, Sharath, is about inspiring tomorrow's leaders, right? And the reason why we're selecting people like you is because you are inspiration in yourself, just in the field that you are, and also the way you conduct yourself. As you can see, all your fans are writing, Sharath Anna, good to see you. So
yeah, there's still a lot of somehow I'm aging, but I'm still the Anna only. So nobody calls me. They call my wife Auntie, but I'm still Anna.
You had the guts to say that live. This man is a role model for another reason altogether. I will not be sleeping in the same house today, Sharath. This is the first question I must ask you.
We've got that a lot of times before. So, my wife understands now.
But Sharath, tell me one thing. You won the 10th national championship, yeah? What keeps you going, honestly? Because is it Paris 24? What is the aim?
Yeah, it's predominantly over the last 6-7 years, I've been taking it, 2 years by 2 years, because I don't know, let's say 4 years from now, how my situation will be physically, mentally, as I need also support from my family. Kids are growing up. So I'm taking 2 years by 2 years. So after Rio Olympic Games, I said, okay, let me take 2 years. So then the Commonwealth Games and Asian Games happened. That Commonwealth Games was the fantastic Commonwealth Games India has ever had, with 8 medals. We follow it on with our first ever medal in the Asian Games, in the team championships in 62 years. And then go on to win another bronze in the mixed doubles. So then from there, I think, okay, now let's go on till Tokyo. Then Tokyo, the way I played in the round of 32 against the world number 1, I feel like, okay, I still have it in me. Then going on, I'm able to keep myself at the best in the domestic circuit, winning the 10th title now. And then the Commonwealth Games coming up, Asian Games coming up, and then Paris coming up in 2024. So wow, man, wow, that's super. So you're aiming 2 years at a time, and you're now looking at Paris 24. Yes, I am. In a way. So you're hopefully going to be making a country proud. Not that you've not made the country proud, you've made 1.3 billion people proud, or as the statistics keep changing every day now, 1.5 billion. So that we don't know, but you made a nation proud. But no, for me, Paris is more or less like the biggest chance for table tennis to win an Olympic medal. So at least from where I've come, Athens is where I started. So this is the closest we are to get a medal in a team championship in my career. So I don't know 2028 if I'll be able to play, not play, what kind of a team we would have. So this probably is the best chance India has had.
and fingers crossed. But one of the things that's kept you going, and I've seen this with sportsmen who basically after the normal retirement age, because a lot of table tennis players have retired much before where you've reached. So for people to keep going, fitness has to be the key, right? Whether 24, whether 28, fitness has to be that mantra. Now you look at an MS Dhoni in the field of cricket, or whether you look at, Virat Kohli now in cricket and Leander in tennis. And when I meet all of these guys, they're like bloody fit. And then I look at myself and I look in the mirror and say, we should do something about it, Rishabh. But Sharath, tell me one thing. What's your fitness routine like?
I think in the last 4 years, I spend more time in the gym or in the fitness area, in the ground or in the gym, than in the table tennis hall. So, because I'm competing against players who are at least 10 years younger to me, if not 20. I need to be as fast as them. Table tennis is one of the fastest games in the world. I need to have those reflexes. I need to be able to stand up to the young muscles and, the young blood, basically. And then once I'm able to compete against them physically, then my experience comes into play. I just can't handle it only with experience. So I have to be physically very, very fit. And there have been times when I've had 3 back-to-back fitness sessions with just 1 hour break or, short break and then get back. I go to the gym, go home, take breakfast, get back to the gym, or go play some other sport, multi-sport. I prefer playing multi-sport because that helps me, keep it going. And it's it's a fun way to stay fit.
Yeah, what's this logic about multi-sport? I've never understood. I used to play chess when my chess coaches thought that I was smart. That was long ago. But when I used to play chess, at that juncture, my chess coach used to always tell me saying, "Aap physical fitness bhi pe dhyan rakho." And 16, 17, 18, 19 ke ayu mein, the issue that happens is that we are more interested in guzzling down pizza and guzzling down soda and having a lot of pizza. And the idea is that we survive only on caffeine. So why is it so important at that age? Because the people who are watching today, many of them, and those who are going to be watching after, when we send this across to schools and so on and so forth, is at that juncture for 16, 17, 18, 19, why is it so important to remain fit?
I think the growth that can actually come in that age is phenomenal. The growth you will have between the age of 15 to 22 in terms of your physical abilities and in terms of your mental abilities, both, because that is the age where you have all the energy, you have so much of energy in yourself, which if you can channelize it in the right direction, you will be able to reach the stars. You can get the best out of yourself. So, but at the same time, it's a very vulnerable age. If not well directed, if you don't have a sense of direction and a good environment who is helping you reach your goal or get in the way of the destination you want to get to, then it's going to be very, very difficult. So personally for me also, that was the age when I just shot into the national team first. At the age of 20, I broke into the national team, but I started working professionally since the age of 15, 16. So after my 10th standard, I decided I will go pro. And it took me nearly 5 years for me to make it into the national team. But those 5 years, what I struggled is helping me what I am even today.
Wow. So basically what he's saying, guys, is that struggle when you are a teenager so that you'll be slightly happier when you are older. But one thing I wouldn't ask you to draw from him is when you get married or when you have a girlfriend, with some of you or boyfriend, don't ever say that she looks older than me. That is the one thing that you should be very... For that you need guts like Sharath Kamal. That's all. But Sharath, what you said is incredibly important, man. What you said that you need to put in the hard yards when you are, when you are young. And at that juncture, the fitness is most important. But tell me, was table tennis something that came naturally to you? How did it come to you? In the sense that, is it... Yeah,
it's been in the family. My father is my coach. He's a Dronacharya Awardee. And he was coaching even before I was born. So basically, I had no other option. My dad just took me to the club, made me play, and I was just there, all the time. But I had a strong liking to the sport. So that was where my father was able to support me and let me do the decisions by myself. Like, let's say after 10th, I said, okay, I want to do commerce and I want to play table tennis professionally. He said, okay, fine, I can support you. And then going into the later years, finding a job or continuing with college, because financially it was getting very, very tough. So I had to find a job to support myself. And I was in college. So my dad said, okay, finish 1 or 2 years of college and then go look into a job, because I wanted to have college life also. So that you have your friends and you have you go for these inter-college matches. It's fun, right? So he wanted me to have both of them. So there, the support from the family was, both from my mom and dad, was phenomenal.
The support from family is very important. And now that you mentioned that it was in the family, that also obviously helps. But Sharath, growing up, and I've read this in many of your interviews as well, and is the fact that you used to deal with a common phenomenon that I used to deal with, is that I used to get frustrated and angry at any failure in life, right? And in my case, of course, the failures were about why girls are rejecting me continuously. In your case, it was about table tennis matches that you used to be playing. Yeah. Now, Sharath, in my case, I realized that it had to do more with me. But when in today's day and age, when any sort of rejection, any sort of failure, and I've seen a lot of young people at the organization and even otherwise facing mental health issues because of these continuous rejections that happen. How did you deal with failure, with rejection per se?
See, we are comparing generations apart. Back then at my age, and in when we were younger, we didn't have so many.
I'm yet young.
We in the sense, not you. We. Yeah, me and my friends. No. Yeah, when we were younger, life was a bit more tough because my parents didn't have money. And generally, if you look at by and large the Indian economy also, back then it was way lower than what it is now. So now people, as parents, I would like to keep my kids in the comfort zone. But for my father, he also wanted to keep me in the comfort zone, but he didn't have the money. So you face hardships on a daily basis. Let's say I had to travel with my cycle or in a bus to practice. If I miss a bus, then I have to wait 30 minutes and the coach is going to yell at me. Not my father, but the other coaches. They're going to yell at me, and it's going to be a thing of sense of indiscipline, if you're not on time. So you always make sure that you are there right in time, trying to get that bus. And if in case you miss that bus, you try to figure out what will be the best way to go. So in day-to-day life, we were facing hardships, and that made us mentally stronger. But kids these days are different, so we can't compare to the struggle what we've had to the younger kids these days. But I still remember when I was younger, I used to get very frustrated. I've broken rackets in practice. I've lost a practice match. I just took the racket and broke it with just my bare hands. Yes, just my bare hand. And then I turn around, my dad is standing there. It's like,
oh God,
that's the worst thing that can happen,
How do you do these things, man?
Yeah, and now when I tell those stories to the young ones, they don't believe that, because I keep myself very calm in the matches, in the sense, I don't show negative emotion. I have a lot of emotion, but everything is very, very positive. So that way I've learned or have been trained over years how to control your bad emotions, so that you accept failure and success in the same way. It doesn't matter if I win today or lose today. I need to be back there in the ground at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter what.
How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you internalize? How do you make sure that you don't break 5 more rackets? That's what my question is. Like when match हार गए, हारने के बाद क्या करते? Then how do you deal with that failure?
See, the main thing what I've understood is why we lose is because probably we haven't put the right kind of effort that is needed, or maybe we need to work harder. So you need to put yourself through the grind again, get better, and the moment you have success, see, I'm giving you here both the ways, failure and success. When you're failing, it's you get critical, you criticize yourself, you angry, and you try to see what are the things you want to improve and stuff, and you have to push yourself to get back there. And the same way, when you have success, you feel like you've done there, you've reached it, you've done it. No, because every other guy is trying to beat you. Because in a draw of 32, there's just one winner. There are 31 losers. Even the guy who's lost in the finals, or there's a guy who's lost in the first round. All of them have lost, and they all want to beat you. So how do you stay there? You need to get back next day to the drawing board and work.
So what you're basically trying to say, Sharath, is kids these days sometimes overcomplicate things. You're saying that the struggle that you saw and the struggle that there is today, of course, is very different. But yes, rather than overcomplicating the entire thing and saying rejection ho gaya, to abhi, this is the end of the world, we can't move forward. Rather than doing that, you come back the next day. You come back the next day with a fresh mindset, and then you approach the whole task afresh. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Perseverance is what will keep you, will find you success. Yeah. Perseverance comes through ups and downs. You need to be consistent with your work.
And this is a very interesting question that actually there's a girl who wrote this question, Arshi Mutreja. She just wrote something. She says, what helped you to push yourself out of that state of failure? Because was it like when, of course, you approach the next day, you go next day with that perseverance, with that spirit up high. But was it meditation? Did you chant? Did you do something different? Did you burn calories on the treadmill? Kya kiya aapne? Or is it the fact that it's just a state of mind?
See, one thing here I would say is I'm very driven. I'm very motivated. I'm very driven. So, and you can't expect the same with a lot of people. See, I'm somebody who's very, let's say, special. You can say that. So even when I lost, I felt like, no, I need to do more, which would be very, very, which wouldn't be normal for for you to go up and say, okay, now you lost yesterday, come back today into practice. Yeah. We have to take care about, how to handle the situation for, especially kids these days, they are individuals themselves. Even in my generation, even when I was until 21, we really didn't have much of a say by ourselves. Yeah. Because parents used to decide a lot, a lot of things depended on other people's decisions. So we didn't decide for ourselves. But now, if you look at kids these days, already by 10, 11, they know what they want to wear, what they want to eat, where they want to go, or how they want to, with whom they want to be. So they are more individual these days. So we need to understand that and act in a way where they will be able to get back into the journey. Basically, it's a journey. It's not the destination. Yeah, it's not the destination we're talking about, because the goal is something which everybody sets, but it is the journey which is the most enjoyable.
So enjoy the journey. Don't focus on the destination, is what you're trying to say, and which is why always, and which is why you can. I think the way you motivate and the way you inspire, probably there's a Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha seat waiting. But Sharath, let me ask you a very personal question. Feel free to politely decline answering it if you don't want to. But all these role models and all the legends usually talk about success. फेलियर के बारे में बात करना कोई भी नहीं चाहता, because failure is looked upon like that. If I were to ask you, Shane, what is one failure in your life that has deeply impacted you and that has helped shape your personality, what would that be?
2011, the national championships. I was winning the national championships on a trot. Completely, undoubtedly the number one player in the country. No questions asked. I come into a match, I win 4-0. If I drop a set, people will be like, wow, you've got a set of Sharath, man. That's fantastic. That was the way I was at that point in time until 2010. And 2011, I lose, and basically there were a lot of reasons for that. I hit a low in that year. Techniques changed, the equipment changed, and the younger players were coming up, and they started to have a belief that they can beat me. The really young ones. So my counterparts gave up, because I was clearly better than them. But the younger guys with really young ones, they always thought they had it against, like they can take me up, and I was not ready for that fight. I felt like, okay, when I go in, I will win. And that loss there, 2011, I went down in the national championships. Then 2012 Olympic Games, I didn't qualify. So I played 2004, 2008, 2016, 2020. 4 Olympic Games. I missed London in between. So, which I personally thought will be the best, because age-wise, I would be in the right age there. I would have been 30 years of age. And I thought, when you look at a Gopi Chand, when he wins in All England, he was 29. When you look at Prakash Padukone, he won it. Post 25 is what we look at. Between 25 to 30 is India's prime. Let's say the Indian athlete's prime. That was what I thought at back then. And I didn't qualify for the London Olympics. I think those were days when there were thoughts about quitting the game. But I think thanks to my wife and I hired a foreign coach, because I was most of the time abroad. I needed a coach there. My dad was here. He was not able to travel so much. So I needed a coach when I was in Europe. So got a coach and started working things. So basically went back to foundation. Went to the simple things, how I started playing, and then built it all again up until 2015. I went down in the rankings to 96. That was the worst ranking in the last 15, 16 years for me. Or no, from 2006, from 2006 to 2007, I haven't been that low. So went down to 96, and then by 2015, I came up to 32 in the world. So that was my best at that point in time.
But you opened up, and I'm so glad you opened up about this time where you were low, the time where you needed help, where your wife came in, when there was a foreign coach who came in, and of course, and of course, you've changed the norm, because 25 to 30 is not an athlete's prime in India anymore. People don't have to look any further than this conversation for that to, and for the man who I'm talking to. But Sharath, that must have been a very vulnerable stage, when you and at that stage, like you said, the thoughts of quitting, the thoughts of I can't do this anymore, are the ones that 9 out of 10 people, like you said, all your colleagues and the people you were playing with, all of them faded away, and it was just Sharath Kamal who kept going. So that spirit of perseverance came also because of people in and around you, environment. And I always tell people that the 5 people around you will make you who you are. How important is that statement even in the field of sports?
That's something which my uncle was insisting since a very young age. That environment is something which will help you grow, or it will suck you in. Either ways, it can never leave you neutral. It can never let you be neutral. The environment will never be neutral and let you do your job. That's because people around you are invested in you, and it's either positive or negative. So it's very, very important to have the right people around you who will help you through your journey. Yeah.
Who will actually
but it's
motivate
very,
you? Yeah.
but it's very difficult to find, the right people. So there you should be open enough to accept suggestions from, your elders or people whom you trust.
No, absolutely true. And it's very difficult to find the right people, and especially in the day of social media and instant gratification, it's even more difficult. But let me ask you this, because sports is so close to you. How important is sports for leaders of tomorrow? See, all the people who are watching today, all the schools will be watching this, etc. And on social media, not everyone is going to become a sportsman. But why is it important for every leader of tomorrow to learn or to play some sport, according to you?
It's as you said, top level sport like what we guys play. We guys, you and me, we play. It's both injurious to body and to mind, because you put your body through a lot of torture. You go through failures every second day, and still you need to go on. But amateur sport, hobby sport, is very good for both body and for mind. It'll keep you healthy and it'll keep you alert in your mind. Yeah. Things what I've learned from sport, as a young kid, when I was in school, when I was in college, I had better grasping power. We used to study very less. We used to spend very less time studying, but we used to get 60% or 65, average marks we used to get, but we used to study only for 70 or 80% of the portions, because we didn't have time to complete the 100% portions.
Correct.
So your concentration gets better, your focusing gets better, your time management gets better. You understand time management well. You handle success and failures in a neutral way. You don't take success to your heart or to your head, and you don't take failures to your heart. Everything stays balanced, at a balance. And the other most important things are punctuality, discipline, commitment. These are things which, sport just teaches. You don't need any teacher. You don't need any kind of, let's say, personality development course or anything. You just show up to play any sport, and you get these qualities for free.
And you get these qualities for free. That keeps me going. For my 12th time, South Mumbai, those who cannot play table tennis championship, that's coming up very shortly. But Sharath, thank you for being such a sport in terms of actually